Hello, Mindy.
How are you?
I'm good. Good to see you.
Yeah. Ah, I'm tired.
Your picture looks really good compared to before. Is that your new computer?
Oh, no, it's my old one because I have my MacBook here.
Maybe it's just me then, or
Oh,
maybe it was a better internet connection this time. I don't
yeah,
know.
maybe. Yeah, I still like to use the old one as a second screen because it's just so practical that meantime you can do something else. So, and I can
Nice.
look up. If you have the laptop, you're always looking down. I hate the looking down part. It's
Yeah.
so bad for everything. So, yeah.
Yeah. True. True. I have mine on a stand when I do calls like this.
Yeah, I need to still buy something like that. One
Yeah.
day, if I go to a city where they have these things, then I will buy one. No, Yaya and Tony had the same thing. They had like a foldable thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, mine is actually a stand for DJs. It's from the music industry.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just use that. I've had it for a while.
Yeah,
But
but that,
only when I do calls like this.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, but it's practical to have. So are we alone today?
It looks like it. So usually Mark and Evan are joining these calls. Um, and I had a call with Mark earlier today, and he said he would join us. So maybe
Uh,
it's just a little late. I don't know. I'll just I'll see. Where is Mark and Evan?
yeah, but it's good that you're doing the new calls. I watched the other one. I watched the recording. So yeah.
Nice.
Well, it's good that now maybe more people will get to know, well, what it's all about and what is going to happen.
Yeah, slowly, slowly,
Yeah.
it's taking shape. I'm just DMing our two Evan and
Mhm.
Mark because they usually attend this call. There we go. Then we'll see. And also, because this call is new, it will take a while until people, register that it's happening and it's a recurring thing.
That's true. It's the same with my community. It's terrible. It's still terrible. Every time I sit there and wait, like, oh my God, somebody's gonna come. Oh. And yesterday, first time I had two persons. Hallelujah.
And
But
how
yeah, it
many
takes so much time.
how many members do you have in your community?
Now 48 already. I went from 19 to 48 in, what is it now, 25 days? Not even, yeah.
But this time you do not vet them on a call, each one of them, right?
Eh, And I am considering going back to that. I don't know if because it was such a hurdle for them to overcome, so I missed a lot of people because of that. But now they enter and I can't get them alive. It's like
Yeah.
I can't get them to introduce, I can't get them to just join a call. It's so hard. So yeah.
Yeah. From what I've seen, recently I looked at the member list of School Buddies
Mhm,
and where they came from. And the people who participate the most
mhm,
are the ones that I personally invited
mhm.
and people who are, knew me from another call, as in
Yeah,
there's that relationship, right? And the second most interaction came from people who other people invited. So, for example, you inviting somebody, but people who joined just by themselves, they are not active. And so that speaks for you vetting people when they come in to have that first interaction actually.
It's yeah, I'm considering already if I should go back or not, but we'll see. Hi.
Hi.
Hello, hello.
How
This
are
is
you
nice.
guys?
So what did we miss?
Oh, it's on. Hang on.
You missed us asking, where is Mark?
Oh, I was finishing up a community post about last week's meeting. You remember which one, Dan?
No, that's fine. That's fine. No
Still
worries.
writing up the summary nearly a week later. Man.
Yeah.
No, that was mind-blowing.
Welcome and welcome, Kay.
Hey,
Nice
Kay.
to see you too.
Hi. Hey, Mindy. Hey, everybody. How you guys doing?
Super.
All right.
Excellent.
I also DM'd Evan just now because Evan usually joins us for this call.
Oh, excellent. Fantastic. Mark, how's the transition been?
Which one? Hold on. 'Cause
Oh,
I'm
wait,
going through a
what?
lot
There's
of
more?
transitions.
Okay, so the last time, oh boy, it was transitioning from academia to being full-time at home, no?
Yes, that is still happening
Okay.
through what I'm doing here on school, except, well, I mean, you and I think the last time we spoke was nearly a month ago.
Yeah.
Maybe longer.
Must have been a little bit longer. Wasn't it a
But-
month? Oh, maybe 2 months.
Something like that.
Yeah.
What I can say for sure, well, Dan can testify because he's seen a lot of changes happening lately. Especially in the last 3 weeks, I've been going at this pretty much full time.
Oh,
So had to get very, very clear, especially in the last couple of weeks on my messaging, who the community is for,
Yeah.
how we're getting the message out there,
right.
and
Nice.
also how we're communicating our value. Because the issue I'm noting, and which we noted previously as well, was that there's a lot that we have to offer.
That's going on.
It's simply, however, not being packaged adequately. And it's no use having gold if you package it in rags.
Absolutely makes
So
sense.
the idea is simply, first of all, to increase the outreach, because for the most part, we were, let's say, in our little corner, having fun and enjoying ourselves and doing great stuff. However, the greater world had no idea we even existed.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it was time to begin crafting some kind of way of getting the message
Out.
to spread further out.
Right.
In fact, one of the
Okay.
things I'm going to do from now onwards is I'm going to encourage my own members that as much as possible, I would rather them bring in new members who they already know
Got it.
and
Okay.
who they'd be happy to refer in, rather
Mhm.
than, it's not to say that I will not take in random people who
Right.
may not know anyone inside of the community, but if I
Right.
were to have a preferred avenue, it would be that first group instead of the
Those you
second.
already makes sense. Yeah.
In terms of priority.
Of course.
So there's
Got
room,
it.
so there's room for both, but clearly I think the community is going to grow way better if people bring in others who
There
they
are.
think would be a good fit.
Makes sense. Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
it's not just for us. The way I see it, this probably works best in most other communities.
True. Agreed. So Dan, how's it going?
It's going well. Thank you for asking. I just
Of
made a
course.
post to the community to say that we're live.
Ah, yeah.
So we'll
Okay.
see. And this is, like actually the first of these calls. Last
Right.
call, this
Besides that
fall.
sneaky one last week. Gotcha.
Yeah. But that was like spontaneously, made up on the fly. And even on the call, on the call, it was still a Skool Buddies come this call, right?
Got it.
So
Okay.
this is actually the first one of these. And one thing I want to ask you guys today, how this should be handled. I upload these to YouTube, right? So here in the community, it's private because somebody needs to be a member to join. But once it's on YouTube, it is public. And so shouldn't we make that, somehow clear to members before they join the call that they're aware that this will be on the wild, wide internet.
Right.
Yeah.
That's one
Yes.
thing. And what I just did today, and we'll see if it works, but it should. The names, I have switched them off in the recording. So they will not be displayed on YouTube when somebody watches the recording.
Okay.
I think that's the minimum. But how do you guys feel about, this recording being on YouTube?
I don't
Yeah.
care so much about it, but I can see that some people will and would need to know. Yeah.
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 The
I
way-
don't care much. I mean, not that I don't care. It doesn't matter. Go ahead and put it out there. But like Mindy said, some people may feel, oh, well, I don't want my face out there. I don't want my, well, you blot out the names, but not my face or,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
yeah.
How do
It's
you
fine.
feel, Mark?
I personally have no objection, but as Mindy and Kay were pointing out, it's something that you should get feedback from individual members about, that they're okay with it. So take, for example, if everyone on this call was okay with it, then fine, sure, why not?
Yeah. Yeah, but because the one that brought this up each time is my wife. Do these people know that they're, out there and stuff? I'm like,
Fair point. Fair point.
Yeah.
I wouldn't argue
Yeah.
on that.
But you know what, though? Maybe it's something that you can disclose at the start of every call and let them know that it will be just for, because some people come on, we sometimes we read things and we just kind of browse over it and not look at the full gist of, the message. And so maybe if it's just disclosed, those who do not want to, they'll get off. That way you don't have to, skip not posting a recording just because there were some people on there who didn't want it
Yeah.
to be.
You can always suggest they turn off the camera also, because then there's no name and no.
That too, exactly. Yes.
Say that again. I didn't understand what you mean.
Well, you can always suggest that they can turn off the camera if
Oh,
they.
yeah. You see, what I've been thinking is people in general, and this is just my experience with, having done group calls like this for years now. People in general, they start off from a point of, I'm not even joining that call because I'm so introverted. And then from there, if they join, but they have their camera turned off, right? And from there, then comes the point where they turn the camera on. And so even though the recording is live on YouTube, they wouldn't be shown, but still it needs to be disclosed. And I think what I've done is I've like duplicated the system of school news, where in the classroom you have Skool Buddies Live, and then I just pin the posts of each of these calls where the recording is, and in there, in each one, it says watch it on our YouTube channel, just like it does with school news, right? So when people come across these calls, on each one, actually, I'm disclosing that we're on YouTube. But at the beginning of the call would be good too. When it's small like this, we all know each other. It doesn't matter. But once the calls have like people joining that we don't know yet,
Right.
we do need to disclose that, I think.
Question though, Dan, what's the purpose behind uploading these calls to YouTube in particular? As in, what are you hoping to get out of it?
Exposure for people who are not on school yet to learn about school, to have
So to
an
raise
entry
awareness about
point.
school.
Say again? Sorry.
So to raise awareness about school in
Yeah,
general.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I mean, I send the link to someone and he got engaged after, so it's doing the trick, I guess. But yeah.
You're talking about your friend from the van life
Yeah,
community. Yeah.
I know he's interested in more in these kind of conversations also. It's like,
Yeah.
so I was like, hey, wait a minute, I will send you a call. And then he was, oh yeah, okay, yeah, this is more my thing. So yeah.
And for me now, presently also these calls are more about building the community together. What can we do? What can we improve? What can we add? Whereas later it might take on different, I don't know, a specific topic for a call. Once more people engage, right? Because right now this is actually compared to more recent calls, a very good turnout, the amount of people we have here now, right? But that's because now the format changed to being open of, Skool Buddies call.
Yeah, but it will get more over time.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, Evan, can you hear us? Good morning, Evan.
Good morning. Yeah, I'm here. I'm trying to get my camera to work.
That's all right. Evan is in the States, like Kay, Mindy,
Oh,
and Mark, and we're in Europe.
oh, nice.
So for us, it's evening, well, afternoon,
It's
coming evening.
afternoon for you. It's actually after 12 now.
Yeah. Another thing I wanted to ask you guys, I made a post in the community, but it was just very recent on Saturday, asking what we should call the leader, in the leaderboard, the levels, you can name them, right? And I talked a little bit with Mark earlier today about this, but what do you guys feel, Mindy, Kay, about naming them? Should we name them at all or not? Or
I like the idea of naming them. When I saw the post, I started thinking, what what would names look like in the school community? And then it got me to thinking, what is the purpose of the school community? So I think, just my thought, that the names should align based on purpose and mission. And that's where I stopped thinking.
what about you, Mindy? What do you think about naming?
Oh yeah, I would definitely name them. I'm just so really, really bad at being creative in that part. I suck so bad at it. So yeah, I would name them, but I can't help you with names. Yeah.
What about Evan, if you can
Well,
hear?
I mean, do we have a theme? Is there a theme? I mean, because I like to think of school like SCHOOL, but I'm not sure if that's, you know, what you envision. Uh, School kind of references that on occasion, but also like doesn't seem to like stand behind that theme all of the time. So just kind of curious. Do you?
So were you thinking something along the lines of, junior, freshman, sophomore, that kind of
Yeah,
stuff?
or even a little more creative than that,
Yeah,
from like
obviously, but in that
peer to
direction.
mentor to like what tenured or I don't know, like
Yeah. Yeah. No, this is interesting. I had all these thoughts, right? And obviously, I also asked my AI assistant because my AI assistant knows me super well and also everything that I'm building on school, right? So Maya, my assistant, came up with some nice suggestions. But then what I decided to do was to check other communities. How do they do it? And I saw that most free large communities have not labeled their levels. So that was interesting to see. Then also what I saw was different ways of going about it. So some communities, they have it labeled, but they also have unlocks. and the labels have also emojis with them. And while it looks like a piece of art, it is very overwhelming for me when I look at such a leaderboard, right? And so I saw different mixes. Some people, they just have unlocks, but no labels. Others just have labels, but no unlocks. And others have nothing, like Skool Buddies now. And others have the whole full Monty. And when I further looked at that, I was like, do I identify with the label of any of the communities that I'm in? And I was like, no, actually, I don't. They're just like labels, except for one community, and that's Memeland, because only very recently I reached level 7, and it's the only community where I reached that. And there the level is called Gangster Cat. And I was like, yeah, that's cool, right? That's cool. And so like, but that's the only one where like I started like, identifying with that somehow. And then I had the thought, that led to the thought, and I shared that with Mark this morning. If we have labels in there, they have to be something that really makes sense for our community so that people can identify with them and so that they can, aspire to reach that label, which then also means that that cannot be changed because that's like, moving the goalpost. Because I've had that happen in other communities, like, oh, when you reach, level 7, you get this and this, like a free call or something, like say. And so I'm there on my way, I'm going, zoop, and then that thing gets moved to level 8. And I'm like, guys.
Rug
And
pull.
so imagine you have a title and you aspire to that, let's say it's at level 7 or 8, and then that thing gets discontinued. And so I decided, well, we can all decide, but my intuition says to probably not label them for the time being and wait till we have a lot of members where we can get the opinion of a lot of people how this should be handled. What do you think?
What is the membership? How many members, give or take, do we have in school right?
In Skool Buddies?
Uh-huh. Or in the
50.
community
Yeah,
altogether?
50 around,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
right? Around 50.
Hmm. It makes sense, and that is where I think my thought went to, again, especially as you just said, it cannot change or it shouldn't change. That's why it needs to be aligned, I think, to, the mission of school. I mean, the mission of the community. Because, I mean, of course, mission, visions change and so on, but the mission altogether, that never changes. Um, that's permanent. Vision will change. Okay, we're going to take a different path, a different vision, but that mission doesn't change. And if you can align those in accordance with the mission based on, whatever tiers it comes with that mission. I just think it would be really cool to have labels, but I mean,
Mm,
but I guess I'm becoming just too comfortable with the meme land, but it would be nice to have those aligned to a mission. Again, give members something to look forward to as opposed to just coming in and, yes, we're conversing, yes, we're communicating, yes, we're building community, but what else is there to it if we're not aspiring towards something? Does that make
right.
sense?
Yeah, right, right. You see, one thought that I had, and I think I shared that on the last call. Um, my, vision is that with Skool Buddies over time, as more and more people join, as people level up, they become the, coaches, mentors to the newer people who join, right? And so as they level up, there comes a point where I would like someone to be able to join the next community, Skool Guides, for free, like they've earned their way into Skool Guides, which is a paid community, right? For free. And so, you know, theoretically at that level, you could call them a Skool Guide because now they transition into Skool Guides. And so the first thought was that would be one of the levels being named Skool Guide. But then the thing is, what level do you set that at? And I feel, and this is from learning from other communities, like in many communities, Calvin Hollywood has it in one of his, where when you reach level 7 or 8, you get the membership for free. So you're paying whatever a month, but when you reach that level, you get it for free. But it's set in such a way that you first reach that level in about a year's time, right? So what level does somebody reach in a year's time when the community is what size? Because it depends on the size, right? In a large community, I've checked the numbers of some. One community has 4,000 members. People reached level 8 in 3 or 4 months because of, the quality of the members in there and the engagement and the sheer number of people. And so if you set it at level 8 in Skool Buddies with, the member counts it has now, when I did the math on the people who are in it, it takes like 5 years to reach that level, right? And so it's what I think arrived to is, rather than labeling those levels for now, is to just have unlocks at different levels. And also with the description of, for example, right now, level 7 would make sense for me to unlock Skool Guides, because with this member count, it will take you a year to reach that level. And if somebody reaches it in 8 months, that's good too. It doesn't matter. But to write that, as long as the community has less than 1,000 members, let's say, it's at level 7, and after that it moves to level 8, so people know. And that would then also give them an incentive to reach level 7 before it changes to level 8, something like that.
I like things like that. The same kind of deal with, uh, basing the rate on the number of people. Those kinds of things make a lot of sense to me. Where, yeah, I mean, it spurs competition. It spurs like, okay, getting a trophy kind of thing. Big into gamification and reward motivations. But for me, schools, an issue I still have with Skool is the leaderboard itself, and the only ways to move up the leaderboard or engagement. For me, like, all of the titles should just be like, coming out of his shell and social, and then social butterfly and whatever, because like that's all it is just engagement. I mean, to pretend like, oh, master, grandmaster, or whatever, it's like, what? Okay, I guess I lead a Notion community, and it's like, and this guy is not even good at Notion, and yet we're calling him a wizard or whatever. It's like, he's not a Notion wizard by any means. He just likes to comment on stuff. So like, I mean, but I mean, it's already kind of too late. Hey, we already put the names in place, and now this guy thinks he's like, people are taking advice from him, and I'm like, don't take advice from that guy. He has no clue what he's doing. So
That is a super interesting point, Evan. Thank you for mentioning that. In another community, or in several, I'm not active in those communities, but I was very active. And when I go there, I'm on the freaking leaderboard of this week, and I'm ranked I don't know where, and I'm like, I haven't been there in months. And so, depending on those posts you made, those likes keep coming, and they level you up. And so, yeah, thanks for sharing that.
Wait, then
Yeah,
This is
so
very,
would that not mean then maybe there should be some set criteria or requirements per level, if you would? I mean,
yes,
that would help.
yes. Yes, like in Memeland, I don't know if you remember, there was a time where you would reach level 5 and you could become a moderator. But it was tied to, and level 5 is far too low in my opinion. You reach that like nothing. But it was tied to you having to reach out to the owner for that to happen. So, not just because you reach level 5, you automatically um, become a moderator. And so, translating that to Skool Buddies and unlocking school guides, we could say something like, at level 7, we can consider you for a scholarship, but it will be tied to whether you're a right fit and where, etc., etc. We'll
Right.
figure it out.
Right.
On that note, the opposite did happen, that the scary unknown school cat reaches out to you instead.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
I know.
Yeah, in our Notion wizards, I mean everything's tied to Notion, right? So as you go through the courses, at the end of each like course, you then kind of we give you like uh, projects or whatever. It's like here, download the template, go through the things, build together, um, and then like at the end here, take a little quiz or whatever, or prove that what you're doing before you move on. My problem with school is the only way to is there's the moderator kind of level that people can enter, but other than that, there is no like prestigious like you can do like the circle thing around the names that people do like Goose's group and stuff like that have the circle, but other than that, there's no real way to like identify people that have you know reached a certain skill level or however you want to call it. Which I wish there was something. They used to have those blue gems, which I thought was good. I don't know why they took those away. Those were kind of cool. And then yeah, or if they, you know, this isn't the right group to talk to, but yeah, I mean, if they gave us each our own, like the star and the rocket and those kinds of things. If each community had their own version of those, that would be cool too.
Like a branding of, like a
Yeah.
theme.
Yeah. If you could pick your own little emojis and then like give emojis out for, you know, different reasons or whatever, I think that would be valuable. But say, like I said, like the blue gem thing, I thought was valuable, and they took that away. So I don't know. So maybe it wasn't.
I only heard about that one. I've never actually seen it. Yeah. What do you think, Mark?
Number of things buzzing through my head on that topic, actually. Which one do I go with first? Let me get back to you on that.
Sure.
To me, I mean, I'm just going to keep kind of thinking into the distant future. School Buddies is like if the mission stays the same, it's going to have a massive amount of people in it. Once it's like all the groundwork is laid and everything's just the way you want it, and we open the floodgates, and we're just like, all right, hey, I mean, there is no like limitation on who can be part of School Buddies. Everybody can be a part of School Buddies, and so when it comes to the leaderboard, I mean, does that have meaning? Engagement. Does engagement with other school buddies have meaning, or is it like meme land where it's like fun and there's like it's good to engage, but when we do like the make a sentence thing and everybody adds 3 words kind of thing, or make a write a story kind of thing, what are you going to reward? Like what are we rewarding? And so engagement, is good and everything, and we want people to be active in the community. But when it comes to that, I think it like should just be fun still, like meme land, like Gangster Cat, like, you know, or Social Butterfly, you know, things that are, I don't know, just helps you recognize that this person is not, not skill based, but, you know, an active member in the community. And then I still think that, and this is kind of what I'm pushing for in my larger plan with communities, is that there needs to be some sort of additional feature set that school doesn't seem to offer yet, to get people to help people engage, or, you know, reward people, and whether that's um, like a call out kind of page, you know, like you can control channels, so a channel where there's pinned posts, or, you know, a thing where, or like a module, where it's like, here, you know, names of people, and, you know, some sort of prestige, where it's just like a call out of like, oh, okay, here, these people have, you know, completed 3 bonfires or whatever, you know, those kind of things, as far as like, here, you know, accomplishments. Um, but there's, I mean, I've been all through school and thought about a ton of different ways to do it, and there's just not that many within the bounds of what you have, a private channel. But yeah, I mean, because it's no longer, okay, here, secret prestige. It's not like, okay, here, you've unlocked this module. Nobody knows if you have this module unlocked or not. Or, okay, here, you get access to this private call. Yeah, I mean, that's nice for a certain person, but not everybody knows that. How do you like put somebody up on a pedestal, and so that people look up to them, other than the moderator piece, which is great. I mean, I think that that's kind of like, that is the, you know, king of the castle, or whatever. I'm a admin. I've like earned my way up to admin in Notion Wizards. It's not even my community, but once you're an admin, you fall off the leaderboard, and it's like, okay, I mean, I was like 7 going on 9, but now I have no clue what I am, because I've been an admin for so long. It's like, uh, but now it's my job to respond to posts, rather than
Yeah.
rather than like, okay, here, I was just responding to everybody because like I knew what was going on and I knew how to help people. And so it's like, becoming an admin is almost like a deterrent at that point, because it's like, well, hey, now I've lost all my prestige kind of thing, other than it's like, okay, well, now I'm an admin and people look at me differently. They come to me for like technical help, and like help with the things, rather than me being like, yes, I'm an all-knowing Notion wizard. I've kind of lost that kind of prestige, or whatever. Now I'm more like a technical guy. So I'm not sure how I feel about it altogether, but
No, I have the same, because now I'm an admin at Crucify, and it's like, suddenly you're not on the leaderboard anymore. And it's not that I care about being on the leaderboard, but people just see, okay, who are the people in those groups that we can trust, you know? And suddenly, like, I'm gone.
yeah. And nobody sees that you're the admin, really. Like, I mean, it's buried. It's like, oh, okay, this many members and this many admin. Nobody clicks in there to be like, oh, okay, like, who do I contact? Unless they need help, unless there's an actual problem or something, and then you're just dealing with all the like crap, instead of like people recognizing you and all of the good things that come along with being the high engaging social person.
Exactly. And it's like, I am constantly DMing people and they have no clue who I am.
Yeah.
They look
Yeah.
at
In
the
your own
page,
community.
like, who is that one?
In your own community, Mindy.
No, in Crucify.
Ah, okay. That makes sense.
No, in my own community, that
I was wondering
they
for a
know who
moment.
I am.
Hmm.
No, in
Okay.
Crucify. So I
But still, I mean, in Crucify, you're very active. You're one of the top, in fact.
but I'm not anymore. I'm
She
gone.
was, but now she's not.
What
And
happened?
that's the shame, because once you get
Oh,
moved to
right.
admin, it just wipes you. Or I mean, like, if you get removed as admin, you go right back to where you were. Because I've
Right.
been removed before, when I took a break. But still, yeah, I mean, it's like, okay, I'd almost rather not be an admin. Make me not my moderator. And because moderator, you don't lose the leaderboard status. It's only once you get to admin.
Yeah, but then you can't kick people out, and that's an issue again. And
Yeah, exactly.
No, but it is. It's like also for this community, you should have something that tells the people like that's the one. That's one we can trust.
Still, if that's the case, I think the simplest way to go about it, and I've seen some communities do it, is if there's an introductory module inside of the classroom, that could be where you present the team.
Yeah, right. That's
The
kind of what
guy-
I was
the
thinking.
guys who are
Yeah.
running it. So essentially just a small card about the people, and that's it. You know who the people are.
Calvin has it in one of his communities. That's
Exactly.
exactly what he's done. In one of the
Exactly.
classroom modules, the whole team is listed.
Ah, cool.
Um,
Yeah, but like
so
outside
that way
of
you
that,
know
not
who's
just the
legit and
team,
who's
but
not.
like I feel like there should be like the team one, and then what I don't see and what I think would be good is then like a call outs page or whatever.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. As you guys were sharing, I was thinking, what if the leaderboard levels are tied to getting specific like privileges within the community that require trust. So, for example, self-promotion, I don't see a problem at all with that if what you're promoting is legit and good. I also don't see a problem if it's promoting another school community, right? It keeps everything in the school platform, right? So that we would tie stuff like that to reaching a certain level. And even then, you will have to go, through some criteria that you have to meet. Because if we think that Skool Buddies has the potential to be large, then we're going to be faced with a lot of crap, right? But also a lot of very, very good, helpful stuff. And so why not, have a classroom module where these people are listed? But in order to be listed there, you need to have reach a certain level. And so that it like, then qualifies you for appearing on that like section and page. Not just some, yeah, course unlock or something.
There is something like a lot of people do that. Is anybody in Rise Up Together? Anyone of you? No. Well, I'm also in like, it's also, well, not only the Rise Up Together, but I am in one, where is it? All those IRL communities, you just get bananas from it. Business Synergy Sisterhood. And they are basing their community in like, you need to reach certain levels to promote yourself and to have some benefits. And it's completely over the top, but it is actually what you're talking about a little bit. And they have it like in the classroom. They have one of the first documents is how they work with posts. And then I will just have a see. Like at level at level 3, you can post one opt-in per calendar month. At level 4, you can post one opt-in, one sales, whatever. So you have some benefits that you can do, like one time per month or something, if you have a certain status. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that makes a lot of sense. The trust ladder, because it's the same kind of thing where you can turn on in the community, like, okay, no, you can't DM until level 3 or level 2 or whatever. Yeah, and then just kind of continue that at level 5. You get permission based thing.
Yeah, I was earlier. I was on a call with Mark, and we talked about that. And what I feel works and looks nice is if you only have one unlock per level. One community that I've seen, they have a bunch of unlocks on several levels, and it's completely overwhelming. It's just, a collection of links, right? Doesn't mean anything. And so when I did my research on who unlocks what where in terms of the chat and posting community, because you can set them to level 2 or 3, right? I saw that out of 10 communities, and these is free large communities, right? 4,000 or more members. Out of 10 that I looked at, all of them had the DM unlock at level 3. All of them. Except I think one that had it at 2. And half of them had the post to the community activated, half had not. And the ones who had it activated was at level 2. So if we follow that pattern of those, which they probably have done because of experience, right? That would mean level 2 is taken for the post unlock, and then level 3 is taken for the chat unlock, and then we just continue from there and have one unlock per level. That makes sense in this trust ladder. And I think that makes a lot of sense, because one thing is getting a title, well and good, but how have you earned that title, right? And so, yeah, one is the engagement, but like you said, Evan, somebody can be like a wizard simply because they've been engaging, but they don't know anything about the topic itself, right? So it has
Yeah,
to be
and the other
tied.
problem with that is that like even if I delete their posts or delete the comments, they still got the point already. So unless I kick them
Mhm.
out of the community,
Mhm.
like it doesn't. There's nothing I can do about it. I can't retract points.
Yes.
Yeah, that's one thing. Also, anyone who churns or leaves, if they re-enter, they re-enter at the same level that they were.
Yeah, and there's just nothing you can do to really fight against people that like spam. Like, 'cause, I mean, especially even as an admin, um, comment back and forth, especially if they get one of their bot friends in there or whatever. It's like here,
Mhm.
boom, back and forth, and then they delete the posts automatically. There's nothing I can do. They just like shoot up through the things. I have to like remove them all together when it's like, man, look, you were doing good. You were doing being legitimate up until a certain point, and then you got like, ha, like cheated the system. It's like, well, now you're out, but like there's nothing I can do. I can warn them and keep my eyes on them. But yeah, ultimately, yeah, in large scale communities, we have like over 4,000 people in Notion Wizards. Uh, it it just gets to be difficult. I mean, you can't keep track of everybody and in every comment. Posts are easy. I can always keep updated on the posts, but yeah, luckily, it moves like most recent things, people with comments or whatever to the top. So it's not like here they can just go find some really old one and do it where I'm not noticing. But yeah, the more members you get in there, the more things that it's like easy for them to just like find one that fell through the cracks, and the number will go up. But then like yeah, it's like, okay, here, oh, this one has a bunch of comments all of a sudden, but like if they delete the comment right afterwards, then it's like really unnoticeable, and so can't even tell that they're doing it, and until it's like, wait, like do the math where it's like, how did you get up on the leaderboard? Like I don't see you anywhere. So yeah, I mean, I feel like it's a loophole, it's a problem, but that then means that like, okay, there's just like no legitimacy to the rankings and the unlockings.
Yeah, one thing that I had seen happen in a couple of communities, and this was soon after I got, let's say, became a regular user on Skool. I won't mention the community in question, but anyone who knows, is that one of the tactics employed by members just so that they can level up quickly was they were double dropping every time they put a comment. So first a comment and then a GIF separately, just so that they have the number of likes that they're going to need to get to the next level. Another practice that some of them were doing on top of this was getting in league with other people who were doing the same thing to like each other's posts all the way back to the beginning of time. So all you had to do was look up a person's profile and doing that inside of the community, you can bring up every interaction they've had, and you wouldn't even have to switch pages, and you just hit like 300 times or 400 times in one day. And suddenly, poof, a person goes from level 1 to level 5.
Yeah, that's what we had planned to do in Goose's competition thing. Was just like, okay, the longer somebody'd been in there, the easier it would be for them to win that week's thing or whatever, the blast or whatever it's called. Because I mean, if you have posts going back, comments going back, all you got to do is convince one person to be like, hey, do everything on the very last day. I'm going to call all the people from my community, get them in here, and then like everything that I've ever done. And then it's like, here, you would just soar past everybody. So even competitions, when it comes to those kind of things, I think the leaderboards either should just be A, turned off because they're BS, or B, like if they are on, then just make sure that everything associated with them is fun, fun based, and not and outside of that, then put other things in place for actual like unlocks, because it's good. People want to be at the top of the leaderboards because they get recognition. That should just be it.
Yeah.
Get quality people inside. That's like there it starts,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But with a community like Skool Buddies, that should be open to everybody except, people who really misbehave, right? Which then circles back to what Evan said on our last call. You need to do a hell of a good of a job of moderating the community, right? And I think right now what we're discussing here is just laying the foundation to deal with whatever it's coming, because I think it's first with the numbers that we will see where we need to do what, in terms of getting rid of the unwanted and what can we do with what is emerging. I think it will organically present itself for us what we need to do.
Not to mention then the problems you're going to experience at this size of community has nothing to do with what you'll experience when you get to 1,000.
Yeah, of
You're
course.
dealing with a completely different set of problems then.
Yeah, and I mean active percentage. It's like I have 4,000 people in Ocean Wizards, but like most of them have aged out or whatever. I mean, they're in there, but they've already completed the course. Like, there's not really much more value for them to stick around. It was a school course or whatever. They've graduated. Now they might just pop back in to ask that one question where it's like, I'm running into some trouble here. But with something like Skool Buddies, where it's more just meant to be a social community, and that's one of the things I think should be taught or whatever in school guides or in Skool Buddies or whatever, is just the different types of communities. And then, okay, based on the type of community you have, here's the things that we've seen happen that people run into. Here's how they should be handled, those kinds of things. Because it's pretty, I mean, it's pretty finite as far as like the types of communities that exist on Skool or on other platforms. There's only so many reasons why people would want to come together and have a community, whether it's top down, bottom up, okay, here social based, okay, here is it, is it a funnel? Like what's the structure to it?
Could it be like that, Skool Buddies grows, it's very large, and now you have a lot of moderators taking care of this, and these moderators create like a following because we click with this person but not with that person, and so you like have almost like sub communities that start forming within this community, and then they do their own community, as in they would still be members of Skool Buddies, but they would then take their activity into their own community because they found a like-minded, whatever it is that didn't exist before, or it already exists in other communities, but they gravitated to each other in Skool Buddies and create their own community.
Yeah, and I think if it was structured that way, I think that would make a lot of sense and would probably be healthy to keep the moderation. Where it's like, okay, here, you get self-promotion or whatever, as far as single unlock, but then it's like, yeah, become a moderator. But then like once you have a call out spot or you're a part of like the main, once you're a part, like top of Skool Buddies or whatever, and people start getting directed to you, it's like Reddit ultimately. Like if you structured it like Reddit, where it's like, okay, here, yeah, join this subreddit, for the overarching one where it's got millions of members or whatever, but then all of a sudden you get like these other subreddits of people within there, but everybody stays in the main one. It's just also then you kind of get these parallels where it's like, oh, okay, well, yeah, it's because I want training on this game versus I'm like a teacher of the game or whatever, however you want.
I have a feeling that and we only have a couple of minutes left, I'm seeing, that as this grows, we need to have some system in place that it's self-regulating, because there's no way that a few people or even a bunch of people can moderate this if there's not some certain system in place that takes care of itself, if that makes sense.
The biggest thing is just the rules, making sure that everybody knows the rules first thing when they come in, and then get anybody and everybody to flag everybody else's posts. It's the only thing that actually works. And then you as a owner or whatever can see how many, like who's taking charge of like flagging other people's stuff and catching things, and those people get rewarded, and like that's the system that works for managing large scale communities. Make sure that the what do you call it? I don't know, the theme, or not theme, but like the mission, the value is well known as they come in, and then you find your leaders that rise naturally just by like understanding the rules, understanding why they're there, and wanting to contribute. And the leaderboards don't do that. Like I think the rules thing, the flagging post, does that better than anything else.
Yeah. Very good point, Evan, because you can actually have people who are low on the leaderboard who flag everyone, and you don't see that, but you see it as the moderator on the receiving end, who those people are, and that can be a qualifier then to ask somebody, hey, would you like to become a moderator?
Yeah, exactly. And you can do they have the good flag and the bad flag. So some people are just like, wow, this one's a gem. It's like, okay, those kind of people are just as valuable as the ones that are saying, hey, get this one out of there. But yeah, the more flags that are raised, and that can be just like a post in the introduction post, like, hey, that's what we're basing things on here, people.
Yeah.
And then the moderator's job's simplified a lot, because most of it's taken care of, and then their job is just to reward the people that are handling it correctly.
Yeah. Nice. This is the call where we look back and say, that's when things were nice and easy and simple.
I know. Back when the world was tiny and manageable.
Yeah. The 5. Guys, I need to jump off. I have another call. Thank you so much for joining me today. And like I told Mark earlier today, unless something goes really pear-shaped, this call happens each week. Each week I'm going to be here doing this call.
Fantastic.
Same here
Thanks,
with
guys.
mine.
Hey, Mindy. Nice meeting you, Dr. K.
Nice meeting you, Evan, Mindy, Mark.
See you
See you
guys.
next time, Dan. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks. Bye-bye.